and welcome to 10 for 10, 10 sports topics with the News 10 team. I am Griffin Haas, here with sports director Tommy Valentine. Whitney Day in the books.
It's a good one.
Packed crowd.
Great day.
Good atmosphere. You were there. What was it like?
It was pretty electric. Even the races that led up to the Whitney were exciting. And, of course, the grand finale did not disappoint.
The King of Saratoga returns. Sovereignty wins the Whitney after winning the Travers, Jim Dandy, and the Belmont Stakes all at Saratoga last year. Listen, if you know Sovereignty, if you know horse really, you knew that Sovereignty was going to come alive at Saratoga. I was certainly pulling for Sovereignty. I'm a huge Sovereignty fan after watching what he did at Saratoga last year. And he was incredible again. He's, obviously he does his best running late, but you had a hot pace with Nitrogen and Magnitude and a couple other horses kind of leading the way up front. And I texted you guys, never a doubt, because I was saying all week Sovereignty was going to win. Now, was there maybe a little bit of a doubt when you're coming around the backstretch and he's 10 lengths off the league and he's leading, he's in last place? And again, it's like you see the numbers when you're watching on TV and you can kind of follow that way. And his number is not only it's going backwards into last place. I was hoping that he wasn't injured and wasn't being eased and was going to be, pulled out of the race, because I was like, man, he's really dropping off. I know he likes to do his running late, but this is going to be a lot to do, a lot of work, a lot of ground to make up. And boy, did he. When he gets into that, he let the pace just get hot on the front end, and when he gets into that final kick, it is just a devastating kick.
Even before he got into the final turn, you could see him start to close the gap, and he was right there with Baeza, and then he started, as soon as he came around the final turn, it was like, okay, here he comes. It was just a matter of if Nitrogen could hang on, but no horse in that field is sticking with Sovereignty when he gets going down the stretch there.
Junior Alvarado said he doesn't even have to tell him when to go. He just knows. Yeah. He knows when to run. And it is right around that turn. It seems like every race, that's when he starts getting going, and then when he hits the stretch, it's just all over.
That's what he did in the Travers too. The gap when he was in last place wasn't quite as big as it was this time around, but he was in last for a little bit around the Travers, and then he ends up winning by 10 lengths. Just the amount of ground and separation he's able to create on that back on the final stretch is incredible.
Yeah. And Nitrogen was awesome in defeat. Hung tough as a filly against the boys. But yeah, Sovereignty, I think, shows that when he is running his best, everyone else is running for second. He is the best older horse in the division. I know Magnitude has won, 4 races in a row. I think he was like 6 of 8 or something like that. He's been dominant, especially, as an older horse. But I don't think we've seen this version of Sovereignty all year, where he lost his first 2 races of the year. Second and third place finishes, but just wasn't quite the same. And he gets to Saratoga where, Belmont, that's where his barn is. Yep. It's his home course, and he comes alive. And just watching it on TV, it seemed like also because, I think a lot of Saratoga race fans are fans of his now after what he did last year. The crowd just came alive when he was coming down that backstretch.
And that's one of the great sound bites Bill Mott gave after the race. And we asked him how special it was to win the Whitney. And he goes, I'll tell you what was really special. Did you hear the crowd as he's coming to the winner's circle? There were droves of fans packed around the winner's circle, all wanting. It was literally like a homecoming for Sovereignty. Everybody wanted a glimpse. Everybody wanted to celebrate him. It was really cool.
Yeah, it was crazy to me that, I know, the fact that he was 3-1 in the morning line ended up being, I think 2-1 he went off at. Yeah. And I get that Magnitude has been the better horse of late, but for Sovereignty to not go off as the favorite in Saratoga is just pretty surprising to me, because, I know that he hasn't. It's not if he had been coming in like last or sixth in his races before, it would be one thing. But a horse who has shown that he loves this track, who's been coming in second and third and hadn't run his best race this year and could take a step forward, There was never a doubt.
And magnitude, the only other time he's run at Saratoga was in the Travers last year, and he finished in third, obviously a race that Sovereignty won by 10 lengths.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make much sense that Magnitude had been running great, but it ended up being close. I mean, Magnitude was 9-5 and Sovereignty is 2-1, so they're right there, but Sovereignty should have been the favorite.
Listen, I don't know how you could take a 9-5 favorite that's not Sovereignty in a race that Sovereignty is in the field at Saratoga. And I don't think that will ever, those odds will never appear again when Sovereignty's in the race, at least if it's at Saratoga.
Yeah.
So shout out Sovereignty. Also shout out White Abario, who did come in last, but in White Abario is going to retire. It was looking to win his second Whitney and won one previously. So a great career for White Abario.
Yeah, 7-year-old. He accomplished a lot. I believe 7 graded stakes victories, including that 2023 Whitney, and a great career. But so nothing to hang his head about.
And now Sovereignty points towards the Breeders' Cup, probably a matchup with Forever Young, which I mean, again, those will be the co-favorites, but Forever Young might even be the favorite in that race, depending on certain. Forever Young's a quite the challenger in the Breeders' Cup, so that'll be a fascinating race to watch there in Keeneland coming up. We're talking baseball coming after the break. All right, we are on to baseball. The Yankees and Red Sox kind of go hand in hand in some ways, but we'll start with the Yankees, and if we shift to a more Red Sox centric, I'll push the button. The Yankees playing some great baseball over their last 2 series since we've had our last show after a disappointing trade deadline.
A little bit.
I don't think we got your thoughts on the trade deadline. I think that you were out for that episode conveniently.
Fortunately, I think I made a good call there. No, I
Conveniently, you disappeared.
They got Luis Garcia, obviously, and he's been spectacular. But other than that, the moves, or lack thereof, were a bit of a letdown. But
Austin Wells.
He's been hitting great. He has been hitting great. He's been the least of our problems right now.
Well, Austin Wells is the least of your problems.
Currently, yes.
He's got the batting average up to 180.
Better than 160, which is what it was sitting at for much of the year. He's been swinging it well.
I mean, if you're not going up from 160, then yeah, you've really got problems.
Listen, I don't know if it's going to keep up till late September, October, but right now he's not a problem.
You know what? We'll look back on Austin Wells'
you can save this
August hitting streak fondly when he's striking out in the playoffs. We'll look back and say, but remember when he went 340, hit 340 for the first 13 days of August?
We'll take it right now.
We'll remember it. We'll write it down. We'll savor it. The Yankees take 2 or 3 from the Braves, followed by 2 or 3 from the Mariners. We're going for the sweep today. We're recording this on Thursday. They lost 1-0 to Seattle. Austin Wells couldn't help him out there.
What do you have against Austin Wells?
He stinks. It's not against him. It's just that you guys didn't trade for a catcher.
And he technically didn't.
When two got traded
start today, there's nothing he could do.
He did. He got it at bat. When 2 catchers got traded into your division, high-level catchers, and you guys stuck out with Austin Wells. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, I don't know which one.
All right, I didn't know that you were such a big Austin Wells guy. You were calling for a catcher before the trade deadline.
I was, and we have to deal with what we have now. And I mean, to credit to him, he's been playing better since the deadline.
He's going to light it up down the stretch.
We'll enjoy it for right now. Okay. You sue me for enjoying him finally playing well.
He's playing. He had a nice little stretch, but we were talking about trade deadline. Yeah, they did not trade for a catcher.
No, they did not. I was disappointed, but he has softened the blow, so to speak, with the way he's played. I'm going to enjoy it for right now.
Okay.
I can't wait till we get to the Mets.
I mean, the Mets stink. What do you want me to do? What do you want? The Mets are no good. You can't hurt me. The Knicks are NBA champions. I don't care.
I'm immune.
I care. I can't. Yeah, the Mets stink. You're gonna tell me the Mets aren't good at baseball? Oh, that'll really get me.
Unbelievable.
But the Yankees are playing very well, and I think it does at least make fans feel better for the interim. I don't know if it necessarily is going. Again, we talk about the Yankees all year. We talk about, there are things we know about the Yankees in terms of what they are and what they're not, and it's all gonna come down to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I think this win streak is well timed for Brian Cashman for sure, because I think that if they did not go on a win streak, there would be more criticisms of where's the catcher, why didn't you trade for any bullpen pieces, why didn't you trade for any left side of the infield, even though they did bring out Lombard, obviously, who's been awesome so far. So I think it does quiet that, and it's well timed. Am I feeling like much better about them and their like playoff ceiling? I think I'm still in the same place where I still have doubts, despite this hot streak from Austin Wells, about Austin Wells and Ali Sanchez being your catchers. I do have doubts about that.
I have some as well.
And I do have doubts about relying on a guy who's been awesome all year, guys like Paul Blackburn, and even Hedrick, who's been great, has been pitching a lot and is going to need to pitch a lot because they traded away a lot of depth out of the bullpen. That would worry me. So my worries about the Yankees would remain the same. How do you feel?
I feel not strides better, but more encouraged than I was maybe a week at this time because Lombard has been brought up, and
that is a big one.
I know
Lombard's
he's just a rookie,
great.
but he seems like he's handling the moment quite well, and I really like Luis Garcia. That's a guy, again, no slight to Paul Goldschmidt. He's been, he's been really well. He's played really well.
MVP Paul Goldschmidt.
Was in conversation for a potential All-Star.
Tommy made a bold prediction to me last year that Paul Goldschmidt was going to finish in top 15 MVP.
Emphasis on the bold. And he was the second voted first baseman for the All-Star game. I mean, he played spectacularly.
He's great for an old man, but he didn't make the MVP.
We'll
move past the MVP thing.
Gotten far more out of him
than
I planned on.
Yes.
And he's been good, but when you face right-handed pitching in the postseason, he's maybe not going to be the most reliable source of offense. So I'm very encouraged by what I've seen out of Luis Garcia. He's a guy I would feel great rolling out in the postseason at first base, and Lombard's been spectacular.
But Luis Garcia is also going to be playing against righties because he's a lefty.
Yeah.
So that's not really the Paul Goldschmidt parallel, because Paul Goldschmidt would probably play against lefties, correct?
Yeah, they would be platooning Goldschmidt, and this is assuming
but they already had Ben Rice.
Ben Rice would be
so
DH.
An addition,
this is assuming Giancarlo doesn't come back.
He's not far off. That's what Aaron Boone says.
That's what Aaron Boone always says. Everybody's not far off.
Bellinger's not far off. Giancarlo Stanton's working out outside, so big. They're like, hey, he got outside.
They're all not far off.
And then Judge. They said they're going to return in that order. So they think if Judge comes back, then Stanton would be back beforehand.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. But for right now, I'm enjoying the fact that against right-handed pitching, we can roll out Luis Garcia as opposed to Paul Goldschmidt. And then when it's a lefty, you bring out Goldschmidt.
But
I like that platoon situation now at first base.
But like these to me also though are like they are better in the interim because again they were struggling because they had a lot of injuries and guys were underperforming. Trent Grisham obviously had a big night the other night, but he has not been good.
He's not a leadoff hitter. I'm
stretch
going to
of
be
the season.
Super excited to see out there.
Spencer Jones is young. Jazz has not played well. Ryan McMahon has not played well. So like they brought in bats in the interim that are going to help them win games. Might be a little too late because they might not be playing for the division right now. The Rays are kind of running away with it. What is it, 6 games now?
I believe at least 6.5, depending on what the
6.5. Yeah. So in the interim, to get them to the playoffs, I think that those moves will help them get a better wild card positioning. Maybe, who knows, make a late run of the division. But again, when we're talking about like playoff and World Series like ceiling, the only thing that I feel better about with them is Lombard.
But Luis Garcia, to even have an extra bat like that, just to have an extra, just great hitter that you can platoon with somebody. You know, he's played second base in the
But
past.
like a power hitting first baseman is.
But
is
he's
not,
just he's an extra bat. He's an extra reliable bat to have. I will take that.
Yes, but like to me, the Yankees went into the deadline and into this season with a set of problems.
It's not necessarily. It doesn't address our biggest need, but it is an extra asset to have. Like, it's not nothing.
But no, it's not nothing. But I'm saying, if I'm like, how much better do I feel about like their World Series? Like that's the end goal.
No, absolutely. I don't feel as good as if we got a Matt Chapman or if we got an Adley Rutschman and we really bolstered a position of need.
Is that like it's not just position of need? It's that they have a lot. They always seem to find a way to get a lot of the same guys, power hitting guys who are going to not hit for necessarily a very high average.
Luis Garcia hit 281.
Right. Okay. But like they're still power focused players for the most part.
Yeah.
They're not like bat to ball. I would like to see a mix of okay, are you happy with Trent Grisham being your leadoff hitter?
No, I'm not.
So like going out and getting a guy, you guys have enough power. When has the Yankees' power ever been a problem?
Never.
You get to the postseason and you have a lot of guys that hit home runs and strike out a lot.
I agree.
So,
but that's not Luis Garcia.
Luis Garcia is
a hitter.
Okay.
He's only struck out 64 times this year, and he's hitting 281. Like, so that's a contact
just
guy.
Luis Garcia, yes. Elliot Ramos.
He's been terrible.
High strikeouts, a lot of home
He's
runs.
not going to be playing that much.
But also, you're like Luis Garcia is going to ultimately be a platoon bat for you. So I'm like not like really like this elevates like your everyday World Series ceiling.
He could mix in potentially with Stanton
he's not going to be playing against lefties.
No. He's not.
So that's a platoon
And then you bring in Paul Goldschmidt, but he could be.
So that is a platoon bat. That is what I'm saying.
Yes, he is, but he's a very reliable platoon bat.
Right. I am not saying that Luis Garcia individually is not a good ad.
I understand.
What I am saying is that when you look at this lineup and the problems that they have had in the past in the postseason, him alone and Ramos alone do not solve any of the problems that they've had.
No, but it helps. And especially Lombard, you eliminate Anthony Volpe, you bring up Lombard, you get Luis.
That's another thing I want to get to.
You eliminate, Paul Goldschmidt played a lot for us in the postseason last year. We're going to be seeing more of Luis Garcia. And if Stanton comes back and he's not the same, we can.
Stanton's going to be playing.
He's going to be playing.
He's going to play every day. He's going to DH every day. If you think Aaron Boone is not going to be starting Giancarlo Stanton every day in the playoffs, you don't know Boone.
He probably will.
And he probably will earn it. He's been very good.
He absolutely
He's a very good hitter.
Has earned it.
Yeah.
But again, God forbid, you have to be prepared for the worst.
If he gets hurt,
with him, if he gets hurt, you can.
But
the fact you can roll out a guy like Luis Garcia is massive.
But this is why we're talking about ceiling. So I'm talking about ceiling, where Luis Garcia, if he is a Stanton replacement, that does not raise your ceiling.
No.
So, like, if you added other everyday players, either at third base or center field or whoever it may be, if they add, like, that would raise the ceiling. Adding bullpen pieces would raise the ceiling. Adding a catcher who plays every day would raise the ceiling. And again, Luis Garcia, 280 hitter, great. There still is a lot of swing and miss throughout this lineup and not a lot of grind out at bats. And that has been the Yankees' problems in years past. So that is what I'm saying in terms of raising their ceiling. I think these are good like replacement moves, and Garcia is a very nice bat to have. But I don't think that.
Listen, you asked me if I felt Stride's better, and I don't. But I feel.
You're saying you do feel.
I'm a little bit more encouraged than I was 2 weeks ago before the deadline, certainly a little bit more, and I still think we are in a better spot pitching wise than we were last year. So I feel overall better.
So you think that they are more primed to win a World Series now?
I think this team is, yes, because
that is where I think we disagree.
You have a far improved staff.
Yes.
You have because you're going to be rolling out a 1-2-3 of Schlittler, Fried, and Cole, instead of Fried, Rodon, and an unexperienced Schlittler. And then the bullpen maybe isn't quite as good last year, but they've been really solid. And I feel better overall about this
So
lineup.
we got hung up on in the lineup and almost on not really a technicality argument, but more so of a ceiling argument, whatever. I think the bullpen and the catcher are the biggest question marks because
The catcher, yes. The bullpen has been good.
it's good statistically in terms of bullpen ERA, but going into the trade deadline, they were like top 5 in blown saves.
And another reason I'm not...
And Bednar is good.
Bednar's
but like,
been great. And
do you have how many of these guys? And I know Hedrick's been great.
Hedrick's been phenomenal. I would have no concerns about him coming out in the 8th inning.
And Blackburn's been great. But how many of these guys in a playoff series where bullpen becomes used more than it is in the regular season? I just don't know how many of these guys in a playoff game in Yankee Stadium you feel great about handing the ball to.
But I feel great about Hedrick. I feel great about Bednar. And you forget that some of these guys, these starting pitchers, are going to get moved to the pen. Rodon, probably not Rodon because he's a veteran.
And that is also
Weathers could and Warren could, and I feel really good about those guys.
And sometimes some guys are going to be better in the bullpen, but some guys are going to be worse. So that is a roll of the dice. Like that obviously it's worked for like Kodai Senga so far in 2 appearances, but there are some guys who are not as good coming out of the pen.
No.
I think Warren could maybe throw a little harder, which would help him like cause he can come out and throw some gas. I think that
I
he
like
could
Weathers coming out of the pen.
Weathers has been solid. I just would have, and again, it's also like depth moves of getting them, just like they made moves like Luis Garcia and Ramos to help get them there.
I understand that, yeah.
They're going to be pitching these guys every day, and like that, I'm not worried about like Brent Hedrick as a pitcher. I would be worried about him like right now. It's him and Bednar in close games because they're.
And you see, I'm not worried because he's consistently proven it. Like,
But he's
you
going to
can
do it
roll
over
him out
time.
every
He's going to
single
do it
day.
over time, but is he going to burn out? That's
He hasn't burned out yet. He's got the most scoreless appearances through 119 games
But that's
in
what
Yankees
I'm saying.
history.
That's what I'm saying. That is he has been phenomenal. I'm not arguing.
I'm not worried about him burning out because he's been
that would be my only
consistently
concern.
good all year long.
Is they are going to they have a couple of guys that they go to a lot,
which is fine. And when you do that in the postseason, and Bednar, the fact that Bednar and Hedrick have gotten better as the season has progressed is very encouraging.
Blackburn would scare me.
Blackburn would scare the daylights out of me. There's no question about that.
We're not talking about Blackburn.
Blackburn would scare me. I feel really good about Tim Hill. I feel good about Fernando Cruz. Like, again, if we can piece together something with Warren and Weathers, and then, like, you go the lefty-righty with Hill and Cruz, then you go the lefty-righty with Hedrick and Bednar. Like, that's a really good, like, we've got good lefty-righty matchups top to bottom, and there will be games that we're losing, and we just throw out Yarborough to kind of just, eat up some innings. Like, I feel pretty good about the bullpen. I would have liked maybe one more arm, but I think
it's just
they were preparing for that with the starting pitchers.
But like, and this is, I know sometimes we just have to live with it. But before the trade deadline, you wanted them to get a relief pitcher.
Yes, but I wanted a high leverage, like big time relief pitcher. I just didn't want another body to throw out there. I wanted a high level, like a Mason Miller.
But when you do
guy.
trade it again, Doval stinks. So you trade Doval.
We had addition by subtraction with
and
Doval and getting rid of Jake Bird.
But there is something to be said even for just eating innings. So they call up other guys to do that. So like, even if they didn't get the high leverage arm, okay, you're shipping 2 guys out. A depth piece or 2 for the stretch run would help them.
But we have Yarborough's a guy who can eat up innings. Yerry De Los Santos, like we have guys who can. We just called up. I can't remember his name, but the guy they called up from AAA recently. They have guys who can eat up innings down the stretch here.
But but even on the high end, it's because you felt like they needed a high end reliever at the back end. No,
I would have liked another guy where it's like we send him out and I know he's going to get 3
right.
outs.
So
we
then
have
when
2 of
they
those
don't
right now.
Do that is not saying it's a disaster. But
No,
it's also
it was a little discouraging. Absolutely. But now it's like we feel great about it, and I feel good. I feel good also because Hedrick wasn't. He's been. Just like even over the last week or 2, he's just proven himself even more. And Bednar just continues to be
Hedrick has been
solid.
great. Like I wouldn't worry about his performance. I mean, I guess you never really know. You can never know with a lot of guys when in New York City and the Bronx how that's going to go.
Yes, because he's been.
And that's, I guess, a little bit my point of like, I know it's hard to get proven relievers, but just to get 1 or 2 or just depth pieces. That and the catcher is the only reason. I think that I agree with your point in terms of they're obviously better than they were.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I'm not sure. I think where we split is I just wouldn't feel as different about this team. And like, I don't think a lot of the problems that keep them from getting over the hump have been fixed. And it's also just a roster build thing, which, I mean, we can spend a lot of time on this, but like when you get to the playoffs, like having guys who can like just grind out at bats and get on base and hit a base hit.
And we're starting.
And there's a lot of low 200s in the lineup.
There are more than I would prefer.
And then you're kind of like Lombard's has been great, but he's also very rookie, young.
But then we also have quite a 1-2-3 that will be rolling out, hopefully, knock on wood. You'll have Rice, Judge, Bellinger. Like Rice wasn't what he was last year.
Rice is a big difference. I mean, he's
hopefully Giancarlo comes back and he returns to form. And
Rice is the biggest difference, I think, because obviously how good he's been. But
I think the
at the
meat
same
of
time,
the lineup
we're
is
counting
better.
them coming back, but we have Luis Garcia, so that's where I guess it's like it's kind of like the half dozen to one, whatever that expression is. I don't know what that whatever. Where it's like, okay, well, we're hoping Stanton comes back. But then we're talking about Garcia, and it's like, well, Garcia's there because if Stanton doesn't come back.
Yeah.
But if they do, I just don't know if that fixes as many.
Then Luis Garcia.
Good problem to have. You have a lot of bats.
Yes. Then Luis Garcia doesn't get as much playing time, but then you have an unbelievable 2 through 5 that would be with Stanton hitting fifth. Like there's no bad. The thing I like about it is that there's no bad option in those instances. Like either roll out Giancarlo Stanton or you roll out Luis Garcia at DH.
I mean, the biggest ones, they need Judge to be back. If the Judge is not back, it doesn't matter.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, this team will do nothing.
And what also is scary is just like, hopefully for Yankee fans, he can get back before, get some time under his belt.
Yes. I don't want him rolling back for game one of the wild card series or something like that.
Which it seems like it's going to be.
And the pitching
tight.
is better than it was last year. So it's like we have the similar problems, but we're also better in the big areas, quote unquote, I guess, is how I would look at it. Like overall,
and Cole's been getting better. Cole is still, I'm not like, I don't, he's not like, when you say like, oh, we have Fried, Schlittler, and Cole, it is not the Cole. I'm not like 100% like that is the
Houston
Cole.
Astros, Cy Young,
or even
Garrett
like
Cole.
Yankees early Cole from.
But he's been spectacular in his last 4 or 5 starts. Like
he's been much better, yes.
And if we just needed like 5-6 innings out of him, I would feel great.
He's an older pitcher coming off Cy Young. There's always going to be some like get him there and get him pitching well.
But he's looked really good recently.
He has been great of late, and you only really, I mean, Schlittler's obviously fantastic. Fried has struggled in the playoffs, but like, I mean, he's a really good
again
pitcher,
for a two guy. I feel good about that.
I'm not really that worried about that. Your buddy Rodon will be back.
I know. He could be a bullpen guy.
We should move on, but I do want to just quickly make one point. We'll skip Aaron Boone and his Booneisms today. I'll let him off the hook.
Letting me off the hook by doing
should I pose this question to you earlier? Does George Lombard and how good he is and how good he look almost make Brian Crashman look worse?
A little bit.
Because let me explain it for the people. The fact that they had this guy in spring training and they're looking at him, and I mean, just physically, like, again, I am not a Yankee fan. It just physically looks the part, hits, defends at such a high level, is clear. Like, we'll see how it goes over his career, but it's like a clear talent. The fact that they looked at that in spring training and they were like, wow, we got to wait until Volpe's back. We got to hold the job for him. Yeah, we'll give it to Caballero for now, but when Volpe gets back from his shoulder injury, boy, do we have to clear the way for his return. Meanwhile, he's blowing challenges left and right in AAA and blowing the team's 2 challenges in 6 pitches. I mean, you look at Anthony Volpe and you look at George Lombard and you look at them play shortstop, and if you say, we got to go with Volpe, I'd be concerned.
The Yankees are, loyal, if nothing else.
But Lombard is their number one prospect.
I understand.
I just don't. I don't.
I don't understand that. I understand what you're saying.
We're moving on to the Red Sox. Things are going well for you in Yankee land right now because the Red Sox have hit a skid.
before today.
They lost before today. They lost 5 in a row before winning the last game in Toronto. But they lose a series at home to the A's, who are not good.
No.
They have talented players. They should be better theoretically. They just don't have much pitching.
No pitching. And they're hurt.
And the Blue Jays have scuffled, and you lose 3 in a row in that series. First 3, a 4-game series. Not anything to, I think, freak out about if you're a Red Sox fan. They'd been playing so well.
Yeah.
You're going to lose games in a baseball season. Boy, do I know it. They were going to return back to earth. They were playing way above their skis.
Mm-hmm.
But, so I don't think it's a major red flag. And obviously they just got Rushman back.
Yep.
Which is a big, or just got Rushman, I should say. Just came back from injury. Played, I think he played the first or 2 games in the Toronto series for them. So that's a huge plus, and you're still waiting to get Roman Anthony back.
Yep.
And who knows, maybe Crochet and even a bullpen role, that would be kind of the icing on top for them. I still think that they have pitchers that they can rely upon.
Absolutely. That's what's been keeping them. That's why I would not be, hitting the panic button, because they're still pitching well during this stretch. They've just hit a cold spell hitting them.
Yeah, it's just listen, they're guys like Monasterio and Sogard who have been playing very well. They were probably playing again above their skis a little bit. So
you cannot
that's
rely on Andrew Monasterio.
No, so that is going to. That would worry me a little bit as a Red Sox fan. Is just that, there are guys who are outperforming, what you'd expect of them.
Yep.
But at the same time, you're still waiting for Jarren Duran to heat up. He's finally got his average above 200, so maybe that evens out.
Durbin Durbin had a grand slam. He's consistently
the
playing
fact that
better.
he has his batting average up to 250.
Yeah.
He was well below 200.
You still got Contreras doing his thing, and Rutschman will start to warm up.
If Rutschman can give you a boost, you have enough hitting, and you can get Roman Anthony back with the pitching that they have, they are going to be dangerous.
Yeah.
We're looking at a Red Sox-Yankees wild card series.
No, without question.
You
pretty much just pencil it
is
in right
inescapable. Now. So and that is where the Yankees moves and getting them to that top wild card spot would be big, because you want that in Yankee Stadium.
Just like last year, we'll do the same thing again.
Should we bring in Brian?
Nope.
See what he has to say about it.
You can talk about it next week.
We were pretty much at the point where we don't even really have to talk about the Mets, which makes my life easier. But honestly, they did lose 2 of 3 in Atlanta.
But
they won the season series against the Braves for the first time since 2017, which is hilarious that they're doing it in a year where they're 16 games below 500.
And the Braves are 25 above 500.
They're 20 and a half games back of the Braves, but they won the season series.
I don't know how that works.
But listen, the Mets have been playing better baseball. They swept the Guardians. They took, 2 or 3 from the Pirates. They took the first game in Atlanta before dropping the next 2 to a really good Atlanta team. They're going to play Washington next. I think the biggest thing, again, when you're watching the Mets right now, is the young guys. Yeah, and they're showing that they have pieces. They are. Mm-hmm. I said this to a couple people will probably said to you at some point. It's just they have one of the best lineups you're ever going to see from a team that's 16, 17 games under 500. Now that Bichette is hitting and Lindor is hitting.
Soto's not even in there.
Benj, who's another guy who, for the first month, his average was around the below 200. He's up to 275. Has a chance to go 2020 in his rookie season. Ewing's been a pleasant surprise. And then they have the pitching and Christian Scott, who's been great, and Zach Thornton, who's been very solid, and McLean's been pitching better. So, again, there are things to be happy about. They're actually relatively fun to watch right now. They're not really playing for anything as they remain, let's see, just for fun. Let's see how many games. Are they 11 games back probably?
The wild card?
Yeah, because let's see, 11 games back of the Phillies and the Diamondbacks. Because, listen, shame they're not in the American League. Maybe they'd have a shot to chase down the Tigers and Rangers.
Probably.
Unfortunately, they would have to chase down the Diamondbacks and Phillies. So there's no chance. So yeah, that was your Mets talk. That's all we need. Be right back. right, welcome back. Valley Cats. Not great.
Not their season.
30-49, 2-8 of their last 10. We were waiting for that Red Sox type turnaround. It never came. It doesn't seem like it's on the way. So we don't have much baseball to talk, but we do have a couple trades, and Tommy is our Valley Cat trade expert.
I got you covered. I wouldn't say expert. They made the move to deal infielders Amani Larry and Josh Leslie, which was a little bit of a shock to the team, but unfortunately those are the kind of moves you have to make when you're now 16 games back of a wild card spot with about a month to go in the season. There's just, I mean, you might as well at this point try to get some value for those guys. It's tough to see them go because those are players, I'd say beloved by the fan base. So those are consistent guys, guys that consistently produce for this team. But those are the moves you have to make as a front office when you're kind of getting ready for a bit of a rebuild, I guess. I mean, it's hard to rebuild in the Frontier League, but just the decisions you have to make when you're having a tough season.
The most disappointing part of the Valley Cat season, to me, is the fact that they're 12-31 at home.
Yeah.
At the Joe. I mean, they're 500 on the road.
Yep.
And listen, Frontier League baseball, you want to see your team compete for a championship, but it's also about going out to the park with the family, seeing a game, hoping the Valley Cats win. And the fact that they're 12-31 at home, that's a lot. That's a lot of losses at home.
Yeah.
And so that's disappointing. But it's still always a fun time at the Joe.
It is.
But that's
not fun baseball.
No, hasn't been fun. Speaking of not fun,
yeah.
The Firebirds, a devastating loss in the AF1 championship game. After going undefeated and winning it last year, they went in this year with 3 losses, playing the undefeated Nashville Cats. It's away from MVP Arena this time. And they get down to, what was it, the 1 yard line?
1 yard line, 1 play to go.
They go for the QB sneak with Castronova. Doesn't get in. Lands, tries to throw it, and just out of the reach of
Dwayne Brown, you're the guy you want the ball going to.
Just missed him. I mean, a play that they probably make like 99 times out of 100. I mean, it was a tough play because you're landing and then everything.
Yeah, and
everything was very
everything's amplified, so that's why it was a little high.
And it was everything was a little scattered. But still, you think that they usually connect on that.
The wild part of that gets forgotten is when the Nashville Cats score to go up 59-53, I believe, they proceed with 55 seconds left to kick an onside kick instead of kicking deep. Nashville kicks an onside. That's what gave Albany the ball so close to the end zone.
Well, why would they do that?
I don't know, Griffin.
I honestly did. I can admit that I did not know that until right now.
Yeah, so that was the real puzzler, and then Albany's got a shot, and I mean, they didn't. I wouldn't say they deserved to win that game, but boy, they played their butts off. They fell behind.
I would say Nashville deserves to lose for doing an onside kick.
At that point, they did deserve to lose for that, but I mean, Albany fell behind 30-8, I believe, was as bad as it got, and they just chipped away, and they took the lead, and then they were just going back and forth, trading punches. I mean, it was a tremendous championship game, and Albany, I mean, they deserve to keep their heads up after that one, because I mean, a lot of people had just even written them off going into the game because Nashville had beaten them twice in the regular season, and they were this powerhouse, kind of what Albany was last year, and the Birds gave them a great game, and to see it end in that fashion was really tough.
Very tough. But there's always next year.
There is.
And
keep that core intact, and they'll be right back.
And we'll be right back after this break. welcome back to 10 for 10. And there are NFL teams playing football.
It's a beautiful sight.
That's amazing. This is what we wait for. This is what we live for. It's football. So as we get closer, the Patriots are playing right now as we're recording this. So we're not going to be able to break down the preseason game. I think everyone will be able to move on from that.
Hopefully they can forgive us.
I think it'll be okay. I'm not sure anyone was coming here for a preseason Patriot breakdown. What we are going to do is start previewing some of our teams as we get closer to the NFL season. So we'll do at least one a week. We'll probably have to double up some as we get closer to the year to preview the season. It felt right to do the Patriots right now because they are the first team to kick off of our local teams for the preseason, playing the Colts tonight. I have hinted at this. Was it you that I was doing the show with, or was it Brian?
I remember
we did some NFL stuff.
I think maybe with Brian, but you've discussed your apprehensions about the Patriots this year.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a down year for the Patriots. Down year in comparison to obviously last year, making the Super Bowl. Not just saying it's going to be a down year in terms of making the Super Bowl, but I would sell my Patriot stock. Now, I know that they brought in A.J. Brown, which is a big help because I don't think Drake May had enough help on the outside. And they did bring in Romeo Doubs. They brought in Elijah Vera Tucker at guard. So you might say, why would you think that you should sell Patriot stock? One, always wary of the team that loses the Super Bowl the next year. Sometimes even the team that wins the Super Bowl. It's a lot to get to that point, and it's hard to get back. And the Super Bowl hangover is a real thing that we've seen pretty consistently. The other thing, last year they took advantage of a very easy schedule.
Yeah, opposite of that.
Their wins were against the Dolphins, the Panthers, the Bills, the Saints, the Titans, the Browns, the Falcons, the Bucks, the Jets, the Bengals, the Giants, Baltimore, the Jets, Miami in the regular season. And in the playoffs, they beat the Chargers, who had no offensive line. They beat the Texans, who were not good. I'll just say that.
No,
right? They were not very good.
A great football team.
And they beat Denver
In the snow game.
and they didn't have Bo Nix.
No.
And they won by 3. So, and then they played the Seahawks, who were a really good team, and got dominated.
Correct.
So none of that was as impressive as it might be to make the Super Bowl. I'm not impressed by necessarily any of that happened last year, because, and again, you have to beat the team. It's not their fault. They had to beat the teams that they play. But when you look at their schedule this year, and they have to go at Seattle, at home against Pittsburgh, at Jacksonville, at Buffalo, home against Las Vegas, home against the Jets, at the Bears, at the Dolphins, Green Bay, Detroit, both at home, then at the Chargers, Buffalo and Minnesota at home, at the Chiefs, at the Jets, home against Denver, against Miami.
So 5 games on there where I'm like, those are probably wins, and no offense to your Dolphins, it's probably the 2 against the Dolphins and the 2 against the Jets.
And also, as much as I understand what you're saying, those are also the divisional games where like anything can happen.
Absolutely.
So like, if your easiest games are in your division, that becomes tricky.
Yeah, maybe Vegas. Maybe Vegas.
I would say that right off the bat, Seattle, Pittsburgh, Jacksonville, Buffalo,
It's a brutal
Chicago, Green Bay, Detroit, Chargers, Buffalo, and Kansas City are, did I say Denver?
Denver,
and
yeah.
Denver. That's 11 games I'd classify as hard.
Yeah.
Now,
very.
like Pittsburgh at home, but like they're going to be tough. It's not going to be an easy game.
Yeah.
I'm not saying those games aren't winnable, but those are 11 hard games. And I didn't count Minnesota, who like with Kevin O'Connell and like
just tough.
if they can get something with Kyler, like I'm not a Kyler guy, but like I'm not counting them in that. But that's still, it's not a cakewalk game. Your cakewalk games are Vegas and then the division games. Jets and Dolphins.
Yeah, they'd be very fortunate to be 3-3 going into that Thursday night game with Chicago, and then you get Miami coming out of that, and then you go Green Bay, Detroit, LA, Buffalo, a pesky Minnesota team, and then at KC.
Do I think that they're worse than last year? No. But do I think that
they'll get exposed a little bit more?
Yes. And do I you don't have to be there are good teams that go up against tough schedules and you have tough break. It doesn't always mean, oh, this team won more, that they're better. There are other factors at play. And I don't think that they're going to take a step back in terms of I don't think Drake May is going to regress. I don't think.
Maybe a little bit because,
He could. I'm just saying, I'm not saying
he's not going to totally drop off.
Yeah. And I do think that he has more help. So I do think that is big. I just think if you're looking at, they won the division last year. I don't think they're going to win the division this year. We'll get to the Bills, a different Bills topic next, and then also we'll talk about them in an episode to come. But they have a tough schedule too because you're playing a lot of the same teams. Probably a little bit easier than the Patriots. Not much, but I trust the Bills against good teams more than I trust the Patriots against good teams because the Patriots didn't beat barely any good teams last year. Mm-hmm. So, and it was one of those teams last year where we were like, how are they doing? It's not like they have big stars. And they not necessarily you have to have big stars or whatever, but it's not like they're that much talented than a lot of other teams.
Yeah. Their defense was phenomenal, and I think it will still be very good.
And it'll be good with Vrabel and everything. Their over-under's 10.5. I would lean towards the under.
I would absolutely take the under there.
Yeah. So, now the under is minus 140. So that is favored to hit the under, but I don't see them. There's no way they win 11
screams
games.
9 and 8
no
to me.
way.
9 and 8.
I think 9 and 8 is very fair. I think that's probably where they're. Would I be shocked? I would not be shocked if they were 8 and 9. I'm not saying I think that they will be.
Not at all.
But I will not be shocked if they're 8 and 9. And again, they did beat the Bills, but that's a divisional thing. Yep. But when you look at the Bills, not only have they done it in the past, but they beat Baltimore last year, and they split with New England. They beat Kansas City, who obviously had their fair struggles, but at a point where they were still, trying to salvage their season. They lost the Eagles, but it was, a 1-point loss.
They'll be in every game. They'll very
it's
very likely they won't get ever blown out, especially with that defense.
Now they lost to Denver, but they were, that was Bo Nix and it was overtime, and the Patriots just got very fortunate, and they don't have they don't have to apologize to anybody, but they got very fortunate. So I am selling Patriots stock, and it's not just because I don't like the Patriots. I'll be honest about that, but I'm unbiased. I don't like them, but I also don't think that they're going to be as good.
It's a fair assessment.
And them's is the breaks. Let's go to the Bills. We will, like I said, we'll talk about the Bills probably more on a future episode. But we got to talk about the stadium. Getting a lot of heat about the stadium. They got a lot of heat about the jerseys first. The Nickel City jerseys, is that what they were called?
Yeah, those alternate.
Nickel City uniforms. So they already got heat about those, rightfully so, and they're getting heat about the stadium, rightfully so. I don't understand. You can find the pictures online. I don't understand how you can build a stadium that has as many blocked sight lines as this one in 2026.
It's not a good
stairs jutting out. I mean, the ones where you're sitting in the front row and the glass is in your way. How does that happen? I mean, it's
apparently to magnify the amplitude of the
screens are tiny.
The screens are small.
I mean, what happened here? I mean, so yeah, if you have glass in your way, don't think about looking at the screen. Don't be able to see anything. I don't understand how it happens. And also, now they're going to be, I think, like 6% surcharges also on concessions and parking and everything that goes into that, into future improvements. So it is, I think I saw a study, it is going to rank as the most expensive place to take your family, which is not
a great look for Buffalo.
I think that I think it's going to be an average $2,000 to take a family of 4 to a game. So for a very common man, common woman, blue collar fan base.
You're not going to love that.
I don't know if they exactly hit it out of the park. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to 10 for 10. Wrap up here with two topics, starting with the NBA, which I am obligated to remind you that the New York Knicks are the champions of the NBA.
I forgot about that, yeah.
So, again, going back to baseball, when you ask me, oh, the Mets aren't good,
Knicks.
The Knicks are champions of the NBA.
Yeah. Good pass on the Mets.
Just got my Dylan, if you're my brother, if you're watching, turn it off. I got his daughter, who was just born in July. I got his daughter a onesie that says "My First Championship."
That's awesome. You got to start them young.
She was due during the finals, and she wasn't coming out, and we kept saying it's because she wants to come out a champion. And then she waited for the parade because they were worried they were going to have to go across New York City during the parade. Day after the parade, she's like, "I'm a champion." I'll also show you the pictures.
Born to be a Knicks fan.
She's been doing the Jalen Brunson thing. I'm not even kidding. I'll show it to you. Anyway, the New York Knicks are champions of the NBA, and as champions do, they will be playing on opening night, which was just announced. The schedule for it, first day of basketball, will be Tuesday, October 20th. This is the first time in a while I'm always excited for the NBA. But I can't wait to watch Game 1, Game 2 of NBA
great game
basketball because they play the Philadelphia 76ers.
We've loaded up to beat the Knicks.
Yes, 7 p.m. There had been rumors that was going to be the game. I don't think it's a surprise. And it's going to be, banner night, MSG, LeBron, Jaylen Brown, Sixers debut.
Goodness.
It's going to be awesome.
I feel like a playoff game.
That game's going to be outstanding. It's on a Tuesday. Great job not putting it on Monday for football or Thursday because football. So we got that. And then, but before that game, usually they tip that off. They're doing a 3:00 game this year. Celtics Pistons.
Another great game.
Don't love the 3:00. Listen, daytime sports.
Yeah.
I'm in.
What else are you going to be
watching? Would
watching
like the Knicks to be the first game, but I digress.
And then you cap the night with OKC, San Antonio.
And those frauds in San Antonio. And hopefully Wemby doesn't cry too much during that game.
I'm a Wemby guy.
I'll never be a Wemby guy now.
No, you can't be.
Hopefully he doesn't try to grab anybody by the neck and throw them on the ground. I think we could all hope for that.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
The Christmas Day slate also came out. And speaking of Wemby's assault, he they're Knicks Spurs Christmas Day at noon. Just tough for me. I'm gonna be traveling at that time. Can we do the night game? But I'm everything's done by that point. Anyway, that's a personal problem. ABC Spurs Knicks noon. That's a great, obviously, Christmas Day game rematch. Then the Heat Celtics. That'll be a fun one. Sixers Lakers. So LeBron against the Lakers again. OKC, Minnesota, Denver, Golden State. But the Spurs and Knicks, again, build up to the championship rematch. Don't put it at noon.
We're just start heavy.
What?
Hit them with your best stuff right out of the gate, maybe. Maybe that's the thought process.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to be busy at that time. Anyway, we got to move on. We got to do this one quick. But shout out to Bridget Duffy, Queensberry grad, playing in the WLL championship this Saturday for the Maryland Charm against the California Palms.
2 weeks after she took a gold medal at the World Lacrosse Championships, now going for a WLL championship. She can't be stopped.
In the same year that still coming off of winning Player of the Year for both lacrosse and soccer in her respective league in the Patriot League at Army. So
Remarkable.
she continues to be good at sports.
Out of everything, yes.
Yeah, so shout out Bridget. Wishing her the best of luck, and I'm
Coach
sure
Arm.
that you guys will have the highlights of that
We
game.
sure will.
We just went 10 for 10. Have a good weekend.